Gethin Jones reacted to the tragic news of the BBC show's house pet Oli passing away and discussed the impact of pet bereavement with guest Dr. Greenwood. The presenter reflected on the sadness he felt and praised the life of the pet that uplifted the studio for all the guests and hosts. Reflecting on the qualities of the much-loved morning-lived dog Oli, Gethin Jones was emotional as he paid tribute to the Golden Labrador who died. He also discussed the wider issue of grieving for a pet and how the sadness compares to losing a loved one or relative. The presenter spoke to the show's resident vet Dr. James Greenwood about how people can deal with bereavement. One-Eyed Oli was a popular addition to the show for 2 years and Gethin looked back on the joy he brought to the show. Gethin was with fellow host Sam Kick as he opened up and gave his opinion on loss and bereavement. He explained, "Pet bereavement is utterly heartbreaking and I know you've got some advice for us. But before we do, Oli was such a massive part of Morning Live from the very start. It's been almost 2 years we've been doing Morning Live." He reflected, "I remember Oli coming in when we started the show and, where, it's a new show and everyone's quite stressed and there he was. He settled down on the rug and everyone felt better and happier." Gethin continued to highlight the importance of Oli on the show, particularly during the show's change of location. He added, "Then we made the move to Manchester and he was with us through COVID and we're going to massively miss him. That's a big problem, isn't it, with grief, whether it's a human or a pet, it's utterly heartbreaking." The resident vet Dr. James Greenwood agreed, but also highlighted the complicated nature of grief, his own experiences and how not everyone deals with it the same way. He replied, "I have felt so silly, it's bizarre, so ridiculous that I mean it just comes from nowhere, you know, just out and about you'll just burst into tears. Go to the gym, burst into tears, at home making lunch, bursting into tears, and I just can't explain it, but you have this overwhelming feeling that you're being ridiculous just because it's a dog. But, I just think it's so unfair that we have this stigmatism around it because grief is individual." He continued, "What one person experiences grief is never going to be the same as anybody else. Pet bereavement is absolutely real. People try and say, oh, I don't understand it. If you don't understand it, it doesn't mean it's not real, it is, very much." The TV vet also gave advice to viewers who may be experiencing the same emotions as he and the Morning Live team. "If anyone is struggling with it, you're not alone. I now very much understand how hard it is when you lose your own pet." Morning Live airs on BBC One every weekday at 9:15 a.m.